Alright, so this is my project. I did the Osmosis and Naked Egg Discrepant event. I thought that one was really cool. I don't have a partner. At least I don't think I have a partner. I wasn't informed of a partner, so I just did one by myself, and I think I did a good job. Okay, so about the experiments. So basically I have to take uncooked eggs and change them with pressure or from the different concentrations of water from the different substances I'm going to use. I'm going to use corn syrup, water, and vinegar. How do I go back? There we go. So in the project, it's supposed to either increase in volume when placed in water and decrease in size when placed in corn syrup. But it didn't really mention what is going to happen when it is going to be left in vinegar. So my hypothesis for it is I think if it stays in the vinegar that it might break more. Like the vinegar is supposed to be taken off the shell, off the egg. So once the shell's off the egg, will the vinegar take the next layer off or take off some kind of layer, deteriorate it maybe. Osmosis is the diffusion of water through a selectively permeable membrane. So basically it is a form of transportation to go from higher concentration to lower concentration. Also about the experiment, I have seen that egg whites are 90% water, so I feel that the experiment will go better since the eggs are already 90% water, that it will take well with absorbing more water or taking more water, so I think that would be really good. Okay, day 1 of my experiment. So first I had to soak the egg in vinegar for 24 hours to get the shell off of it so that I know the experiment will work. Then the next day I rinsed the egg in water and I put it in the corn syrup mixture for another 24 hours. And then I put a seal over it with an aluminum foil and I put a rubber band over it to keep the smell from my house because it was not a very good smell. It's gross. I had to air out my house the whole week I was doing that experiment. It was disgusting. But it was really cool though. So then the next day I went back and I opened up my egg and I saw that the egg was much smaller, and when I took it out of the corn syrup, it kind of felt like, I don't know, just kind of like a stress ball, like one of those kind of balls where you can like indent in it and like see the indents that you made. I guess that makes sense. So that's what happened on my day 1 experiment. For my next experiment, or the next day for that experiment, I did the same process, but I rinsed it and put it in a water cup. And I left that in the water for another 24 hours, and I came back the next day, and there was like also a change, but not as drastic as the first day. The egg was bigger, but not like as big as I was expecting it to be. Like maybe it didn't get as big because the egg is already 90% water, so maybe it only had 10% left to fill up with water, so it didn't get as big. But when I took the egg out of the water, it felt like those water beads that we did in class. It felt squishy and fragile. I felt like I could, like, if I squished it too hard, it would crumble and break right in my hand. So I thought that was really cool. That the relation between like the feeling of the egg after it was left in water and the water beads that would be left in water that got bigger too. For the last day of my experiment, I let the egg soak in vinegar again for 24 hours. Then I rinsed the egg with water and I put it back in the vinegar, a new vinegar, not the old vinegar, because I wanted to see if I don't want the old vinegar to affect the project, so I thought new vinegar would be better. So that's what I put. I put new vinegar in it and I let it sit for another 24 hours. And I came back the next day and there was no change. I was kind of upset because I was really hoping the egg would do something different. I was expecting it to deteriorate or another surface over the egg to crumble off like the shell does, but it didn't. It kind of just stayed the same. It smelled even more bad, so I was not impressed by that. So in conclusion with my project, I feel like maybe I didn't really do my project correctly. I feel like maybe my egg in the water could have gotten a lot bigger, because when I read the article in one of the links that you gave us in class, it gave me an expectation bigger than what I did. So maybe for like, if I did it again, like this experiment again, I would want to let them soak longer in the water or like in the vinegar before I set them in the new liquid. I also want to do differently. I really want to maybe space out the length of my experiment, maybe do more eggs per group of the experiment to see if I get different answers for this experiment. And that's all I have. So thank you for watching and listening.